Here are all the ingredients we need to make some fresh, crunchy, soft Vietnamese Bánh Mì baguette. 500 grams of bread flour. You want to use a flour that has a high protein content. We have 8 grams of kosher salt. If you're using regular salt, you need to reduce the amount. We have 6 grams of sugar, 350 milliliter of water, room temperature, and 1 packet of instant rice yeast. 5 simple ingredients, 1 great recipe. Let's get started. First step, you're going to combine all of the dry ingredients in your standing mixer. We have the bread flour going in, the kosher salt, the sugar, and the instant rice yeast. Just combine all of the ingredients. Attach the kneading hook to your standing mixer. Turn on your mixer on speed setting number 2 and then add the water to all of the dry ingredients. You want to mix it for a couple minutes until all of the dry ingredients are well combined. Once it's all well combined, let the dough rest for about 2 to 3 minutes. Once the dough has rested for 2 to 3 minutes, turn the standing mixer back on to speed setting number 4 this time and knead the dough for about 5 minutes. Let's take a look at the dough and its texture after 5 minutes of kneading at speed setting number 4. As you can see, the dough is very sticky, totally sticks to your hands, and it's very wet. And that's totally fine at this point of time. Cover it up and let it rest for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes of resting, we want to turn the standing mixer back on to speed setting number 4, and we're going to knead the dough for another 5 minutes. After another 5 minutes of kneading on speed setting number 4, the dough is still wet and sticky, but when you do the stretch test, you can stretch the dough to a very thin layer without the dough tearing. That's when you know the dough is ready to rest. So this is what the dough looks like after 60 minutes of resting. It has risen beautifully. You can see there's a lot of air in there. Try to get out as much of the air pockets as possible. Just push the air pockets out. When you're done with getting most or all of the air pockets out, form it back to a nice round shape. Put it back in the bowl. Cover it up. Put it in the oven again with oven lights on for 30 minutes. The dough after the second rise of 30 minutes. Once again, you want to try to work out as many of the air bubbles as possible. Once most of the air bubbles are out, form the dough back into a round shape that will help divide up the dough into equal portions. I divide up my dough into 8 equal portions. I'm making some mini baguettes. You can of course use a scale to make sure that each portion is equal weight. I just eyeball it, that works for me. After all the portions have been divided, you work one portion at a time and form it to its final shape. Now, the one step that is really important here is going to be the slapping of the dough onto your working surface. If you have a very frustrating day, this is a really good exercise to let out all of your frustrations. Slap it onto your working surface for about 6-7 times. That is the key to making the Vietnamese Bánh Mì baguette to be airy and fluffy, and then shape it into its final form. I roll them out so that the 2 ends are a little bit thinner than the center. I love the crunchy part, so the end parts are actually my favorite. And just continue to work so with all of the portions that you have cut. Once you have shaped all of the dough into its final shape, you need to let it rest for a 3rd time. The 3rd time is also going to be for about 30 minutes or until your dough has doubled in size. So I put it back into the oven for 15 minutes with the oven lights on. After 15 minutes, I take it out of the oven and let it continue to rise for another 15 minutes on the countertop. In the meantime, I will preheat my oven to about 450 to 475 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is the final product, a beautiful, crunchy, soft and airy Vietnamese Bánh Mì Baguette. It looks delicious. I know the shape is not all perfect, but I promise you they all taste the same. So I'm gonna get these rest for a couple of minutes before I cut them open to show you what the inside looks like. Now listen to the sound and the crunch of the baguette. You can hear how crunchy it is on the outside. If you love crunchy bread, this is your recipe. And look on the inside. It's nice and airy and fluffy, and it's just to die for. We eat Vietnamese baguette to many different dishes. Today I will show you how to assemble a Vietnamese Char barbecue pork banh mi sandwich. We have some pickled daikon and pickled carrots. Nice, tangy and crunchy. I will show you the recipe to make pickled vegetables in the coming weeks. Start out with the bread. My bread is hollowed out. My daughter ate the inside and I can stuff more goodies on the inside. Put some sliced cucumbers into your baguette, the pickled daikon and the pickled carrots, some cilantro. Fresh herbs are really important in Vietnamese cuisine. Spicy jalapenos if that's what you like. And then the barbecue pork. Now you see that my homemade Char barbecue pork does not have the red color that you would normally see with store barbecue pork. That's because I do not use any artificial coloring. To top off the Vietnamese baguette, you want to put some Maggi seasoning on there. This is a must. You cannot skip the Maggi seasoning. This makes the banh mi baguette almost a banh mi baguette. You can get these at the Asian stores or even in the American grocery stores nowadays. Your banh mi sandwich is ready to be eaten. It's absolutely delicious. I hope you give this recipe a try. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please do so. I come out with new videos every Friday. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lot of fun making this recipe.